Welcome to the Mario era, chapter 156.
156 de Mario. It's me. It's Mario. And the schedule came out, and it's not an easy one. Oh, no.
7-5. Oh, no, 8-4. Beck's here.
Ken Dorsey makes it 9-3.
He does. Not here yet.
Hey, but you know who makes it? You know who makes it undefeated?
Appreciate that, Heatherman. You know who?
Our guest is going to make it undefeated.
Yes, we
I'm
do
stoked.
have
I can't wait.
So we told you guys we're going to be doing some off-season guests. Our first guest is today. It's Mr. Chris Myers from Fox Sports, ESPN, Emmy Award-winning, pretty impeccable resume. So I'll tell you what, we'll do that, and then after the interview, we got to talk about the schedule. We got to go down to Green Tree, talk about what's going on with the East-West Shrine game and how everyone looked. Jacoby looked great, apparently. Didn't get any 15-yard penalties.
And the Senior Bowl.
Conduct. Yeah, a Senior Bowl. I'm sorry. Yeah,
And the Senior Bowl. Two of them.
Yeah, excellent.
And 5 questions to end it.
Yes, Jalen Rivers doing well, all of it. So check it out, everybody. Obviously, the best app for your big game party is actually on your phone. It's called Underdog. Underdog is the best place to cash in on all of your takes for the big game. You know what game I'm talking about. Which players are going to go off, which ones are ice cold. Make your entries in just a few steps. Here's some great stuff. First of all, with their pick'em game, you can win up to 1,000 times your money just by choosing higher or lower on a player's stats, i.e. yards, touchdowns, interceptions, and more. They've got all your favorite leagues, teams, stars to choose from. You can create entries with all football picks, mix and match across different sports like college hoops, NBA, whatever you're looking to do, NHL as well. Underdog is the only pick'em platform that puts the power to cash out in your hands. Now you can either keep riding with your entry or tap the win now button and cash out whenever you want. Underdog is the best place to play pick'em. We will be posting our Underdog pick, I promise, on X this week. Download the app right now. Promo code ORANGE and deposit now. You'll get it to $1,000 in bonus cash instantly. That is promo code ORANGE. Well, listen, it is our first off-season interview. This is going to be our focus for the off-season. Everybody interviews. And I think we're starting off pretty strong, coming out of the gate with someone that everybody knows very, very well, Mr. Chris Myers, who has a brand new book out called That Deserves a Wow: Untold Stories of Legends and Champions, Their Wins and Heartbreaks. And Chris, being a South Florida guy, I'm looking at the book and I see you have a foreword written by Bill Murray. And I'm thinking, if you must got a relationship. So what's the best Chris and Bill story?
Well, there's a couple of them in there. I met them through the ESPYs back in the early 90s when I was doing Sports Center with ESPN back in Connecticut. And we kind of hit it off. He was doing some entertainment thing. He knew that we wrote our own material and said, I think you guys will write something funny for the ESPYs. And we started talking about sports, comedy. I'm a big fan of comedy. I come from a big family. He comes from a big family. Then I met his brothers, and then we kind of hung out and, ran through New York a little bit when I had some downtime, and then stayed in touch through the years. And one of the stories, I'll just be real quick. I went to visit him when I think he was doing U.S. Open tennis. Anyway, I was in Manhattan, and I had a day off, and he had his house up on the Hudson River. And I'll make this short, but I said, he said, why don't you come out and visit the house? I said, well, I don't have a car. And I goes, I'll send a car for you. And we'll hang out a little bit and then you send it back. So anyway, he sends his giant white stretch limo, right? And it picks me up, and as I'm pulling into his driveway, he's videotaping me as I step out, and he says, hey, ESPN, I'm recording this. You see how Chris spends your money. Don't fall for it. It's not a per diem. And then he gives me a tour of the house, and he's walking to the yard, and we almost step in these holes in the backyard as we're looking out towards the Hudson River. And I said, I was like, wow, geez, what's good? He goes, yeah, it's these damn gophers. I can't get rid. And I said, you're messing with me. I used a different word. I said, you can't. He goes, no, they're really. I don't want to kill them, but the trapper and all. He goes, they're digging up the yard. So anyway, that's just kind of the kind of guy that Bill Murray is. But he had a Chicago Cubs logo in the middle of his pool with the diving board and all that. There's a few other ones in there as well. But he's the kind of guy, as you would guess, you'd want to hang out with, even if he wasn't this famous actor. He's a big sports fan, very astute, great sense of humor, has an edge to him too. He's very, very smart. And I leaned on him for some other things personally that he was very helpful with in a serious sense, almost like a bigger brother. That I also talk about it in the book.
That's amazing. And obviously, you know, were they really go for holes? Because now we need to talk about this for real.
And they were for real. And of course, Caddyshack struck, you know, we always use quotes from that movie, and it's a run and rerun. But yeah, they were real go for some animals digging in his yard that he didn't want to kill. So I think life imitates art, or is it vice versa? But that was a real moment.
So, you know, it is Pebble Beach week, ATT Pro Am, right? So we right into that. We have a good friend who's on tour who'll be there this week. And look, you love watching Bill Murray out there every year with the clothes, with the double gloves, it's true Pebble, right?
Yes,
it really doesn't get much better than that. Seeing Bill out there and his antics at Pebble is brilliant for me. Certainly, I'm the aficionado of the group, so I love it for sure.
He's last time I talked, he's not going to go again this year. I'm not sure if other things came up. I go to they do a Caddyshack charity event that his brothers do every year. This will be the 24th year, and I go to once in a while up in North Florida, outside of Jacksonville, at a Nicholas course up there. He's fun. I've golfed with him a little bit too, and he's obviously a lot of fun with that. He does that thing where he'll call and say, "Hey, let's come out maybe for a tee." And then there's different people that different walks of life. One might be an actor, one might be an accountant, one might be a politician. And every few holes, we all have to rotate in the cart so that we get to know each other a little better. Yeah, these are all strangers. But I'm a hacker, and I remember I hit a ball and it went down the fairway. And he's like, "You're absolutely amazing. You do everything wrong, and yet the ball goes in the fairway." I'm like, "Thanks, Bill." I think that's an insult. But no, Pebble Beach, he made that event bigger than it was. I mean, it was the old clam thing, but he became so much a factor, which I think if he's not there, we'll miss him.
Yeah, I think, and maybe at part two, there's half the field now because it's a signature event. So there's half the amount of AMs out there. So I don't know if that factors into it too. I don't know.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I know there were some golfers back in the day, and I remember interviewing Tom Watson and then Bill was like, "Oh, apparently Tom's all bent out of shape that I, have so much fun out at that golf tournament that I'm rolling in sand traps or just what you talked about." But he said, I hope he gets over it. So I think they buried the hatchet, at least back then they did.
So right down the street is where Caddyshack was filmed, and this is where we grew up. I mean, this is Rolling Hills Golf Course.
Yeah,
I don't know if people know this. I don't know if people know this or not, but you're from down this way.
Yeah, no, I know that area. The Miami Beach. I'm from really North Miami and then Hollywood, Florida. In fact, the studio at WKAT Radio, which is no longer there, was on Miami Beach, and around the corner, and it was Criterion Studios, where when I began as a kid in the 70s in school, the Bee Gees were recording, and it was the big disco era. So that was kind of cool. But yeah, that Rolling Hill, the story, they had some problems filming that because it was right in the flight pattern of the Fort Lauderdale airport. And they would be doing takes, and then they'd have to redo it. And that was a real, from what I heard the stories, and they've been talked about.
Well, we're waiting.
So I wasn't. No, Bill didn't share those with me. Those are other people and their issues. So that's what I didn't get from. I still want to know what he told Scarlett Johansson at the end of Lost in Translation, but he won't give that up. He keeps making jokes about that. So,
well, I want to go ahead. You mentioned WKAT, and there's a natural tie-in here. Doing a little bit of homework on you, it seems that your mentor was the longtime voice of the Miami Hurricanes, the late great Sonny Hirsch.
Yeah, it was, and Joe Zagacki has slid into that role. I know his family, his brother from school and going to Chaminade. Back then it was Chaminade, not Chaminade Madonna Prep, however they refer to it now. Boy, it's been a lot of years. But Sonny Hirsch gave me a big chance as a young kid board operator. And I talk about this in the book, how I called in when I was supposed to be doing homework. I had a deep voice and my early teens, and you're supposed to only call once on Sportsline, and it'd be Chris from Miami, and then I'd disguise my voice and call back as Duke from North Miami so I could get on the air and agree with my earlier call. And I had this going for a while, and John Harper, the producer, invited some regular callers down to the studio. This is how we did things back then. And of course, I didn't have caller ID, thank goodness. So my dad, I couldn't even drive. My father said, "Look, you're going to have to tell them the truth. I'll drive you down there and be honest with them. And I thought they were going to say, beat it, kid. Instead, they said, you know a lot about sports, maybe work weekends and behind the scenes and when you get your license. So I would leave, Chaminade once I got my license and drive down and do things behind the scenes, and then filled in for Sonny Hirsch once in a while. And he really, Hank Goldberg was big then too. And they really gave me the big break to get on the air. In fact, Sonny was the one who said some of my first interviews. I talk about this. I was in humanities class at Chaminade. He said, you need to go to the Fontainebleau Hotel, and Muhammad Ali has a press conference. I need you to ask some questions and take your tape recorder so we can use it on our show. So I had to cut out of class early and go do that. And that was one of the first interviews that I ever did that actually got on the air. And then later filled in on Sportsline with Sonny, and it kind of launched getting into radio later. WIOD with Rick Weaver did the Dolphins, but I did some reporting, and I know Zagacki was there as well. So it's a great. And then the big story was WTVJ in Miami with the great Bernie Rosen, and back when they were the CBS affiliate, and I give them a lot of credit for helping me, because that they were a big time sports for a local affiliate. We stars coming through Miami, but they treated things like a network. They had quite a staff of people. It was a great sports department with good people who I still stay in touch with.
I think we had we put a few questions together, and I think one of them was, if you weren't doing this, what would you be doing? And after that, I don't think there's an answer.
Yeah.
That was it.
This
was always going to be this.
Yes, I think you're right. Even my family was like something in TV, radio, but sports. And I wasn't a great, athlete myself. I mean, I enjoyed it. I played a little bit in high school, that type of thing. But I just wanted to really talk to athletes and interview athletes. And I think that came from growing up in a real TV, radio era. I mean, now we have social media that does the same kind of things with YouTube and social media channels. But yeah, I think this was a path I was going to take no matter what. And yeah, my family, brothers and sisters all tease me about that. There's nothing else that you really could have done. I tried a little stand-up comedy. I did the comic strip in Fort Lauderdale, and I did a little something in New Orleans and I liked that. It's kind of like being sportscaster, ad-libbing and being live and interacting. But while that was enjoyable, and I'm a big fan of comedians and comedy in general, this is the sports media, and I still love it. It just doesn't get old. I have certain sports I love more than others, but it's funny how your life takes you through, and that's in the book. That's kind of where sometimes things guide you along the way, as long as you have a dream and you try to follow it.
Give us your best joke.
Best joke. Wow. Well, some of them were I couldn't tell on the air.
Oh, you certainly can. This is not.
We're
we
a
can
podcast.
say whatever
Go
we
nuts.
want.
Yeah, it was one I ended up getting. My first joke before I did stand-up comedy was I over the public address system at our school I worked it in, and it almost got me demerit. So I can't go there because it was. But I'm trying to think of some. I did a lot of big family jokes, a little bit about the neighborhood. I grew up from it was really a mixed neighborhood with a number of different personalities, culture, nationalities, stuff that might get people canceled today a little bit, if you had fun with it. But obviously that wasn't the career for me. Because and some of it was a little bit about my family and growing up in a big family with 2 sisters, 2 brothers, and that type of thing.
Well, I think the golden age of like the ESPN and yesteryear was when it really mixed heavy with the comedic sense, right?
Yeah.
Some of those when, God rest his soul, when the crocodile hunter literally tackles the UF gator. Do you have a favorite commercial like during that era, like one that you were involved with where you're like, yes, this was it. This is when my 2 passions mixed.
Yeah, no, I love, those, they're all good. I mean, I'm trying to think out loud with some, but Dan Patrick and I actually did the first ones, and they weren't quite in that theme before they hired, I think it was Wyden and Kennedy, the group, whoever made the humorous ones, but ours was My Sports Center Fantasy Is, and it's like I'm out there watching, covering the game, and then I get to catch the touchdown pass. That was it. I forget Dan's probably had to do something with basketball at the time, but wow, I love. There's one with Roger Clemens that jumps out at me. I love the one with the mascots that I think are hysterical. So Sports Center, and that was great. The 90s, and I know you guys are younger, a lot younger than I am, but to me, me, that was such what I call the golden years of ESPN, because it was just ESPN, no 2 or ESPNU, and it was the only game in town really. Every sport didn't have their own channel, and college sports too. We were putting everything on the air. I worked with Tirico and Linda Cohn on the late night Sports Center, and some with Chris Berman, Bob Lee on the early ones back in those years. Some Carl Ravitch, and there were so many. I don't want to leave anybody out, but some great personalities. And at first, people were like, "Wow, 24-hour sports like CNN, 24-hour news is not going to make it." And then it became like everybody knew. Like today, everybody knows that's the place to go for sports. So I was fortunate to work there at that time, and then go to Fox Sports in the end of the 90s and 2000 when they started to grow after they became more than the Simpsons, when they got the NFL and then baseball and then NASCAR and college sports, et cetera, et cetera.
Well, and actually going with that, Chris, because that was a big move. You were one of the big stars in making that move. I mean, it was then followed by Rich Eisen when he went to NFL Network. But from a professional standpoint, you were at the flagship station of sports. And
yeah,
Fox was kind of an up and comer. You knew they had the money behind it, but you weren't quite sure how it was going to go. How was that decision for you to take that leap of faith and make that move to Fox?
Yeah, and it was a leap of faith. And I thought when I went to ESPN, and I was there for a decade, and I was a reporter and then a Sports Center anchor, and then I got to Roy Firestone, another University of Miami, North Miami Beach High guy, another South Florida guy. When he was leaving Up Close, the interview show out in California, it was something I always really wanted to do. And I'm a warm weather guy. I got to tell you, Connecticut was difficult in that regard. And so the opportunity came up, and they were like, "Hey, we really want you to stay and do Sports Center." But, I think I wanted to try the California thing and take over Up Close for Roy, who I had filled in for. So it was a tough move there. And then after a certain amount of time, when Fox came calling, I thought I'd stay at ESPN forever. They weren't so sure, as they didn't end up doing, that they were going to keep the Up Close show. And so I was like, "Well, do you want to go back and do Sports Center?" And then Fox came calling. So there were a number of factors. And Disney bought ESPN. It changed the dynamic a little bit. At the time, they didn't have any West Coast studios or anything like that they have now. Well, I can't believe it's been that long, 25 years or so. But it was a tough call, a decision I wrestled with. But I guess ultimately, I think what hit me was, a guy in this business, once Fox got the Super Bowl rights and World Series rights, I was like, gosh, ESPN is great covering stuff, but to be on that broadcast, to have an opportunity to do those things, I think I got to go. I got to go for that. CBS, ABC, they all had at the time. ABC, ESPN had not yet merged totally. So I was like, that was kind of what really propelled me to go with that. And here it is, 20 years later, and I've worked 6 or 7 Super Bowls with Fox and 5 or 6 World Series and a lot of NFL, and so it worked out. It worked out well.
Give us your favorite. I know you said you have sports that are more favorable in your heart, if you will, than others.
Yeah.
You like covering them better. Is there a favorite game? Is there a favorite moment? Like you've been doing this a long time. You've gotten to see, as you mentioned, some really epic events. What is one that stands out that you're just like, man, I can't believe I witnessed that in person?
Well, I mean, there's a couple. The 2 big sports moments. Funny, they both involve Boston sports teams.
I know where this is going. Talk to me.
Oh, God help us.
No, don't talk to me.
Never mind. It's a terrible question. Sorry, Chris. We got to move on.
No. Let's go.
Because it's funny. I was in, growing up in South Florida, we had a lot of Boston and New York people that are down there at the time while you're growing up. But I was the sideline reporter with the Patriots on the network broadcast with Joe Buck, Troy Aikman, and Aaron Andrews had the Atlanta Falcons sideline. And I had to deal with Bill Belichick, and then the overtime and Brady's great comeback, or the Patriots' great comeback, and get that interview and it's important if you're, to me, you're a reporter at the network, to when it happened, that live reaction before they set up the stage and do the trophy and they have a chance to think about things. You want that raw material. So I'm fighting through, and you go back and look at the video, fighting through to get to Brady, and he was exhausted. I was like, "Tom, get the camera." I think I lost our producer, got knocked over. We had security guy got bumped in the head. You can see the crowd around the camera batteries are swinging. So then we're going to take an overhead camera, and I get to Tom and say, can we do this? He says, "I'm really exhausted. Can I have a few minutes?" And then the producer's like, "Let's do this." So I'm like, "We're live with Tom Brady." And so,
ready or not, Tom.
Yeah, believe it, we're live on Fox. The world is watching. So he was gracious and played along as exhausted as he was. And aside from a great game, remember there was Deflategate, and he had an illness in the family. There were other factors that made that kind of a special interview. The other big sports moment was I was in the dugout with the Red Sox when they were down 0-3 against the Yankees, covering that on a gloomy night on the Fox broadcast. Tim McCarver, Joe Buck, and watching that come back again, not only against the Yankees, but then going on to win the World Series, and at the time break that 86-year curse and cover that team with Terry Francona and Manny Ramirez and Kurt. I was there with Curt Schilling in the dugout with the bloody sock, which was legitimate, and he was really and that crazy group. It was amazing too to just. I still can't believe they ended up coming, to win that. I mean, that was to me almost more shocking than the Patriot comeback. So those were some big sports moments that I got to be a part of. And then the O.J. Simpson interview, the first live interview with him after both the murder trial and then the wrongful death lawsuit, and that being on up close in ESPN and the reaction that got. A very different kind of awkward interview, but one that went a little beyond sports. And that's part of what I cover. Fortunately, I've covered great sporting events, but I've been at places. I was at the Earthquake World Series for ESPN in '89 between the A's and Giants. And then I was at the Olympics in Atlanta when the bomb went off, and I had to report on that. And then I covered for Fox the Daytona 500 when Dale Earnhardt crashed and died. I mean, he's the face of the sport. So it turns from a sporting event into a major news event, and you have to change channels in your mind and reporting right away and how you cover things. It's not fun and games anymore. It's very serious stuff.
So at one point there in the forward of the book, Bill Murray mentions your immobile hair. And I was curious, the first time your immobile hair and Jimmy Johnson's met in the hallways of Fox.
Oh, that was a big moment. Yes, we spent a half hour talking about hairspray and gel, and and we get teased. Well, Bill, I was doing a game in Chicago, and I was reporting, and I if I was there and he was there at the same time, we'd get together. But he would send comments about sports and the broadcast or whatever. But it was really windy in Chicago, and I put a lot of spray and gel so the hair would stay in place. I mean, it's kind of my old thing was a sportscaster. You got to have the voice and the hair. So anyway, the hair was still. And so Bill texted, he goes, "Hey, your report was good, but there's 50-mile-an-hour winds and your hair's not moving. There's something not natural there." He's like, "Come on." So he kept. So ever since then, he's teased me about. So I got to make sure I don't put too much in there, so people know it's real hair. It's not like some glue-on hat. That's what he was kind of calling it, which is kind of funny.
Out of all the places you've been, what is your most favorite sports venue to cover?
Oh, wow. It's to call an NFL game in Seattle is a great experience. Okay. An NFL.
You're just checking all that guy's
boxes. Toast
he's a Boston fan
crush on you.
Really?
Right
Seattle.
I didn't know anything about the background of you. I just knew that,
You were talking about Boston and now you say Seattle. So that's his NFL team du jour.
He's not going to shut up now. Yep. You know that, right?
Boy, you guys are like my brother. It's a good thing you are in separate locations.
Right. And see, I'm a newly found Yankees fan.
Oh,
and the reason why is because of the Fort Lauderdale Yankees. I was here before there was the Marlins.
Okay, good. Yes.
So people ask me, I was like, I follow all the South Florida teams. I root for all the South Florida teams except one.
Yeah, and I don't. Well, I'm guessing it's not. But no, the Yankees said I don't blame you there. And Aaron Judge is a special guy. But in terms of venues, obviously Fenway and Wrigley Field are special places to see a baseball game, regardless of who the opponent is too. And I grew up, even though I was in South Florida, I used to go to Vero Beach, so I was kind of a Dodger fan. And we didn't have the Marlins yet as a kid, and so that was Lasorda and Garvey and Lopes and Russell and that group kind of connected me a little bit at Vero Beach back in the day. So those are kind of the. I was trying to think of another. I mean, there's some really other cool baseball. I haven't spent a lot of time at PNC Park. People like it, but obviously, and I'm not being a Dodger guy. I'm not a big Giant fan, but the Giants, their stadium's a pretty cool stadium in terms of a setting. But nothing beats Fenway or Wrigley, especially if it's a postseason game, and especially if the Red Sox and Yankees are playing in Boston. I mean, that there's just something electric about being there, and you really feel like you're on top of the fans are on top of the players of the action. I mean, I was in the dugout while they're trying to cover the game, and I could hear the obscenities or the terrible things that were being said, and some nice things that were very, very supportive. But those are special places.
I would have to agree with Wrigley. I had the fortunate ability to go in, and you know what hit me the most is it's like this is the same clubhouse that Babe Ruth was in, yeah. And then I think the enormous just the moment got to me. I was like, wow, this is a cool place. I would have to agree that Wrigley or Fenway's.
Yeah, and Lambeau's a little bit like that, but I think it's been kind of, they fixed it up around it, and it doesn't have, I mean, I'm not knocking it. It's just, it has history. We know that Lombardi walked through there and for Packer fans, but it does have great history, more than a lot of other stadiums. Of the modern NFL stadiums, I love SoFi where the Rams play, and Jerry's World where the Cowboys play are very special. Some of the newer venues like in Atlanta and Minnesota that I don't know if they tried to copy that. They're just not. They don't have. You want to have modern conditions, but you also want to have a sense of history or some kind of feel like we were just talking about. And at least I haven't felt those yet. At least when I've been out there.
So we know you grew up down here. We know you went to FIU, but we got to be honest with everybody. You're a closet Miami Hurricanes fan, right?
Well, no, I do. Well, I am, and you're supposed to be impartial. I always rooted for, but I did root for the Dolphins and the Hurricanes, even after the times when I moved out of there. I never graduated, by the way, from FIU, and I went to Miami-Dade Junior College before that, which I don't know if the name is still even there. But
Miami-Dade Community College.
Yeah, Miami-Dade.
Yeah,
the community.
Similar.
Yeah. So, and they had a great, and when I was already working in radio, as you know, from a TV, but they had a great hands-on TV radio program where I could actually do some things in television, which got me an internship into TV, which, that's why I was trying to make the next step. But yeah, no, the Dolphins, having been around Shula and Marino back in those days, it's sad that they can't,
It's tough to watch.
Yeah, it's hard. They deserve better when I look at and the coach I was fired up about, you got to have discipline there, you got to have, and I don't know if they have the right quarterback. You got to be healthy. You got to make your team bigger, better. And there was a time, the division, there's Buffalo, but the other teams were down. And so I'm a little frustrated with that. I still, have a soft spot in my heart for the Dolphins and the Hurricanes. I always will. And I was rooting for Cam Ward too. I know people are, oh, you're biased for the Heisman. Obviously things worked out the way they did, so I'm not going to argue that. But I don't get to call a lot of college football or cover it as much, but I certainly do keep an eye out.
Do you have a favorite comedian?
Yeah, I have a few. I mean, I go back old school. There's a couple old school guys like George Carlin and Don Rickles, and in my family, we grew up, kind of that insulting each other, having fun, kind of a thing. And I've had the opportunity to meet Chris Rock, and really enjoy his style of comedy. I think Bill Burr is very he gets away with a lot. But God, he's very entertaining, and I was a big impressionist fan. There's a guy out now, mostly on Instagram, Matt Friend, who does a lot of political impressions, who's really terrific. And back in the day, Johnny Carson was one of my idols before late night TV changed the way it did. The King of the Tonight Show. Got to meet Letterman also, and Leno, a couple of guys that I appreciated their hosting ability and their sense of understanding comedy in different ways. So yeah, those are a few that come to mind.
Any thought to ever getting back on the stage and trying to do a 5-minute set again?
Yeah, I might. I mean, they have open mic. I've done some of the Fox seminar. We have our football seminar, and we have all the guys in, all the analysts and play-by-play, and the production people and the studio guys. And I did that a few years when we had Troy Aikman and Terry Bradshaw and I did some stuff with them where I could insult. It was great, like insulting Aikman and picking on the boss, and it was a little more Don Rickles like, making fun of some of the guys that they all appreciated, that kind of bonded us. But yeah, that's something I could see. I could see happening. I that's what I enjoy. In doing sports, the game is the thing, and but if you can have some personality, some fun while you're doing it, I think it makes it more entertaining.
Very good. All right. Well, listen, Chris, I know that we had you for a half hour. Want to thank you very much. It's been great. I mean, if you want to stay longer, you can.
Yeah, it didn't feel like 30 minutes.
I lost track of I lost track of time, but it was great. I love the questions. You guys really had me thinking on some stuff. I hope if you get a chance, enjoy the book or the audio book. It's my own voice, which there were moments when I was recording, and I was saying, who said this? I'm like, you did, you wrote this. So make sure you forget, that it's a good thing I had a researcher to come back and a lot of times can double check what you put in there. But no, I enjoyed talking to you guys. We should talk during the season sometime. We can get a little more, football. You don't want to talk about the Super Bowl, or I don't know if this is going to be dated or not as a reference point.
No, you know what? Yeah, no. The interesting thing, I mean, you can talk about it, but what we love doing about these interviews is to talk about stuff really non-sports related.
Oh,
that's all we talk about. You know what I mean? So it's nice to talk about comedy and talk about. But if you want to talk about the Super Bowl, please do for 3 minutes.
Before you do, no, because I like the random questions. He likes all right, what's the ultimate form of milkshake? What is the milkshake?
Oh, I'm a chocolate malt guy.
Chocolate.
Yeah,
I'm vanilla.
You gotta have it in glass after it's been in the tin, and they kind of give you, those places that I mean, you can drive through in places like that, but a real old fashioned malt. Oh, I like these quite. I'll go fire away.
These are much better questions from us.
I'm vanilla. Scoop. What about you? What is it?
I like if we're gonna do a malt chocolate.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Toast.
Yeah, I'm strawberry.
Strawberry.
Of course.
Let's add one topping to it. So I'm the vanilla. Okay. I'm adding Oreo. That's the only play.
Oh no.
What do you mean? Oh no.
Really?
That kind of changes I would go whipped cream, even though it's already
okay.
I'm not sure that's a topping though.
Yeah, kind of comes with it.
If we have to have a topping, I don't think I want chocolate.
Yeah, if it's a topping,
I think I want vanilla.
Strawberry.
Yeah, or more vanilla chocolate syrup.
See, you got to be thoughtful about your answers.
See,
all right, another question.
At least you didn't ask, is a hot dog a sandwich or whatever that's so good.
God. Yeah.
All right, so next question. Question. If we are going to adopt the 51st state, what state would it be? What are we picking up, boys?
Well, I think our president would take Canada. But
that's the low-hanging fruit, though, Chris.
Listen,
you got options.
That's too easy. Right?
That would save the NHL. The Canadian NHL teams would be saved.
Oh yeah, that's a good.
Edmonton would have a chance.
They would save Canada.
Rue.
Oh, that's a good one. I don't know. I would take Panama, then we wouldn't have the canal issue.
There you go.
Oh, there you go.
Nice. He's got all the right answers, though.
See, I think it's real easy to take over the Bahamas. They're really close to South Florida.
They're kind of already ours, right?
Right.
I mean,
You're trying to take Canada's spot. Take us.
Yeah. We could just make that part of the Keys, right? We'll just have from Key West or Long Beach, you go all the way down to the Bahamas.
All right. So here's the thing, Chris. So we have a segment called 5 Questions, which we do. And we always do. And we shied away from it today. So here's what we're going to, because
we just knocked 2.
It really gets everyone involved and goes down awkward paths. But the next time we have you on, we'll do a true 5 questions.
Okay, good. I like those.
Or it'll be much more random stuff, and you'll probably
was more random than milkshakes.
Yeah,
well, I'm pissed off about the milkshake question.
No, and I like that you guys. I like that you're talking things other than sport. That's funny because when I did interviews too with some of on the Up Close show at the end, it wasn't quite phrased that, but I would always have something a little bit offbeat to ask them that was not about their craft or their profession and that type of thing, which is good. That way we get to know you. I feel like I know.
That's right. Well, all right. So last question.
Okay.
Die Hard. Christmas movie or not a Christmas movie?
Yeah, it doesn't. It's not a cop out. It doesn't have to be a Christmas movie, but it fits the Christmas movie mold because of anything that has a little bit of holiday stuff in there is a Christmas movie. That's my view, but it doesn't have to be. I mean, you can watch it in June and still enjoy it.
That's when it was released.
That's when it was released. Yeah. So yeah,
yes,
I don't care. It's a Christmas movie.
It's not a Christmas movie.
The Hallmark Channel has Christmas in June. There you go. It's a thing.
And I'll say this, that I thought Godfather 2 was better than the original Godfather, but I won't argue if anybody wants to go the other way. That's
all right.
It continues. It continues. It's almost like one big movie, so I'm going to give you that. And we can all agree Godfather 3 was horrible.
Yes, they should have. They should stop at that point. By the way, have you guys watched the one with Billy Landman? Have you watched that?
I want to watch Landman. Absolutely, I heard it's great.
Yeah, the cameo by Jerry Jones is worth it alone. But Billy Bob Thornton is terrible. I interviewed Billy Bob Thornton once, and he's a big Colts fan, and he said he would get superstitious if he was watching a Colts game. This back Peyton Manning, and if he threw a touchdown, he would stay still, or get in that same spot when Manning got the ball back, and then if he threw a pick, he would move around the house. It was really fascinating.
Billy Bob was superstitious? No way.
Yeah, I don't see that.
Yeah.
How about Angelina?
He's a little
like drink blood superstitious. Like, what are we talking about?
But a big sports fan. Yeah, He actually came out and sang some old Chad and Jeremy song on our sports radio show. That was not. It's like, where's that coming from? But a cool guy, cool dude.
So you will be on the Super Bowl, right? On the broadcast.
So, actually, I'm doing some things during the week, but not on the actual broadcast. That's okay. Aaron Andrews with Tom Brady and the crew on Fox. But good. All right. Well, next time, good. The 5 questions. You know what I'll do? I'll come up with, when we schedule this, I'll come up with 5, if we have the time, 5 questions for you guys.
Oh, we'll make it 10.
We always have the time.
Okay. Yeah. So it'll be
it's a special 10-question episode.
Yes.
Yeah.
Listen,
since it's the off season, right? There's a lot we could talk about.
Absolutely.
Listen, Chris, if we don't do this, we have to talk about recruiting, and we would rather stab ourselves in the eye.
Yeah.
Correct.
The whole NIL and recruiting and
not our thing.
Not our thing.
Yeah.
And I'm trying to think of my first Orange Bowl. Gosh, it was Nebraska. Well, I should know this for WTVJ, and I had to go. Nebraska, Clemson. Does that sound possible? Anyway, it was way back. I should know my Orange Bowl history better than that, since I know you are the Orange Bowl guys. But anyway,
we don't know it either. So it's
all right. That's okay.
It's just our name.
I love your backdrop, by the way. The hurricane. That's very cool back there.
Thank you.
I'm in the. He's talking about mine. I'm in the bubble.
Yeah, you're in the. Yeah, it's a cool setup. So anyway,
I'm in a fire station.
I wondered if they, we could use you in California. By the way, that'd be nice.
I would love to share.
Thanks, you guys. I appreciate appreciate you having me on. All right.
Yeah, no, it's been fantastic. Thank you so much, and we will have everybody reach back out. We'll have it back on again soon.
Yeah,
This is awesome.
I'd love to. You made it fun. This was a lot of fun. All right, take care.
Thank you, Chris.
Take care.
Thanks, Duke.
Bye-bye. That's right. So he's in trouble. He's kind of hidden away. We don't want.
See, that's our.
Hold on, is it a different voice though?
Oh yeah, it was more like a John Wayne, Johnny Cash kind of voice. And,
hey, y'all saying the first guy was pretty good.
So yeah, you just call it up. Go, I agree with that kid from Miami that the Dodgers need. I don't know. It worked for half a year or whatever.
You got to break that on. You got to break that on Feinbaum's show.
I don't know if I could still do that. But when Duke wanted half my paycheck, I'm like, enough already. You're out of here. All right. You guys take care.
Chris.
Say, Chris. Thanks, man.
Thanks, man.
All right. Bye-bye.
Well, that was, I think the first one, boys, was successful.
I think so.
I think so. He's going to be back.
Yeah. He's going to ask us questions.
Yeah, sure.
He's going to come up with 5 questions for us.
Yeah.
I was told a hard out at 30 minutes.
Oh, yeah. No, it didn't work.
They thought he was going to hate us.
Yeah. 100%.
Who's they, by the way?
See, that's the thing. We told him, we're like, you had a 30-minute. He was like, what? It's been 30 minutes? That's what happens.
See, at the firehouse, we literally have that expression. Jenners, you were bringing up. Who's they? Because when I bring, I'm like, this lieutenant they or captain they is the most influential person in my department sometimes. Who told you to do this? Who gave you this order? They did.
Yeah.
They are pretty powerful.
Yeah. All right. Let's get down to Green Tree.
I think we should.
Fight 72. Fight 8.
Let's go.
All right, boys. They dropped the schedule. The schedule is out. Days, times, couple things that I hate about the schedule. Where do you guys fall? What do you guys like and what are you hating?
What do I like? I like the fact that the University of Miami is like home in the state of Florida, at least until about like October 1st. If I remember, I mean, we are here the whole first part of the season. I love the fact that we have home games. We have 8 of them. We're only on the road 4 times. So that's what I do like. I think the obvious is what do we hate? The fact that we have 2 bye weeks, essentially what, week 4 and week 6?
5 and 7.
Like 5 and 7. And then we don't have another bye week. And let's talk about this. In a situation where you potentially, all right, we're putting the cart before the horse, but in a situation you might play an ACC championship game and get into the playoffs. That means you won't get a break for an ungodly amount of time. And that raises injury concerns. I just hate the fact that those bye weeks are so close together and at the beginning portion of the season.
Yeah, I love the bye following the Gator game before the FSU game. A month. I love that as a great spot for a bye before the conference starts. I hate the fact you have the bye after FSU because then you're going to have one game in 3 weeks going into Louisville, which is not going to be a bad team. And I hate the fact that, I love the 8 home games. I hate the fact the last 2 are on the road.
Yeah.
Vodtech and at Pitt is how you finish off. Like, damn, bro. Would have liked to have not had, like, we don't leave the state of Florida until what, November 1st?
I said October 1st, but yeah,
I think it's November 1st.
August,
November 1st.
September.
November 1st, because we're at the one road game is at FSU.
Yeah, so there you go. But yeah, I didn't even think about that, Toast, where the last game, Lane Stadium, that's always rocking.
No, that's second to last. Pitt's the last game, which is always, come on, bro. That's like PTSD for a lot of us.
Yeah, it's going to be cool.
Vodtech and Pitt to end it, both on the road. Like
November 29th.
I mean, what will be, what will we be? We'll be 8-2. We'll be 8-2 going into those 2 games. We'll end up 8-4.
I don't know going into that.
Yeah.
No,
I don't know. I think there's a lot to not like about the schedule.
Sure, it's harder than last year.
It's much harder than last.
I'll be honest. The only guaranteed wins on this schedule. Well, maybe, yeah. I mean, it's Bethune and Stanford.
Who'd Stanford beat? Stanford beat Louisville.
USF is. I still think is going to be in disarray. We expected more from them last year. That was like Scoop's super sleeper pick to beat the University of Miami last year, and we had a great offense. I mean, we're going to have a better defense. You're hoping to have the same record that you did last year. You're just hoping that it's going to get you into the playoffs this time because of the strength of schedule, because that was the SEC argument the whole time. You're just hoping that's going to be the argument that gets you in. I said, okay, maybe this is potentially your path to do it. Go undefeated at home, that's not a small task. That's a very hard task. But if you're great at home, if you can do anything, be relentless at home, go undefeated at home, go 500 on the road, and you're probably a playoff team. Very strong chance you're a playoff team, at least going in to play for an ACC championship game. But if you're 10-2 and not, you're going to find a way into the playoff with that. I know there were some counter arguments to that. The way other teams, I don't think Alabama's going to have that luxury anymore. I don't think they're going to be like automatically granted in. They have a hard road in front of them, especially what they did last year, especially what the SEC did. That is a hard strength to schedule. If you're undefeated at home, that means you have wins over Florida, which they're going to hype up. You have wins over Notre Dame, right? You have wins over Louisville. There's no way. There's no way. If you did that, if you went undefeated at home and 500 on the road, chalk up an L with those last 2 weeks of the season. Please don't, because then that puts a bad taste in the voters' mouth.
Yeah, because then you got a 2-game losing streak. They may say, no, they're looking bad. We're not putting them in.
Yeah. I'm still sticking to it. I'm dying on that hill.
Oh my God, it's 100% going to happen.
Yeah. They go undefeated like they did last year, but they'll invent a new way of doing it. It won't be the defense this time. It'll be something stupid. It'll be special teams. Oh my God!
I gotta be honest with you. You want to hear something really stupid? You're stupid, but it's not because it's the way I am.
Worst sound in the world?
No, you don't. So we had a guest on, and then our boxes for the show got rearranged, right? And now when I'm looking at the screen, Rose to my left. On my screen.
Oh my God!
And it's giving me anxiety.
Of course it is. Because oh, by the way, longtime listener, my boy Nick, he basically said that show is unedited on Cinemax. They actually have that show also on Cinemax, and it is the vulgar version.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I didn't know you can move them around. All right.
Yes.
Okay.
Oh, I thought you were telling me. Thank you.
No, he didn't give a shit about that.
Yeah, now you can actually focus on the podcast.
I feel better. No, I 100%, like the left side of my body was uncomfortable.
Like when we played on stage, I had to be on that one side, which at that point was to his right side. So I don't know why I'm on his left side over here. So,
oh my God, I feel so much better.
I'm in a different spot every time. I don't care. I'm in the top right now. Jenner's in the bottom right. I don't care.
Weird. It's weird.
People at home are listening are like, what the hell are these guys talking about?
Especially if you just tuned in today for the Chris Myers interview. Welcome.
Go down this schedule real quick and do an unofficial win-loss.
Sure.
All right.
No. No,
unofficial.
All right. Let's go.
Unofficial.
The four of us will vote, and the winner is So
what
first,
do you mean?
Notre Dame, win or loss?
Loss.
Win.
What?
Win. Yeah. Okay. Next.
All right. So that's a win. Well, I was going to let Jenners vote too.
Okay.
Oh, don't count me.
Okay.
Yeah, because
the three of
you were all right. Fine, loss.
Thank you.
But now we can't count him because now it's a 50-50.
Sorry.
Exactly. You screwed up the odds.
Yeah, way to go. Never tell me the odds, kid.
All right.
Well,
no,
gotta move on. This
no, but it's
this
a
part
home game,
sucks.
so that's a tiebreaker, so it'll be a win.
Win.
Got it.
Bethune, win.
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 Yeah.
South Florida, win.
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 Gators, loss.
Loss.
Win.
Win.
All right. Well, it's a tiebreaker, so it's going to be a win. So we're 4-0. FSU.
Win.
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 This
All
is,
right.
this
Louisville.
is dumb. There's 5 wins here. This is stupid.
Win.
What? Louisville?
Louisville.
Win.
Yeah, win. They're in disarray.
Yeah. Stanford, win.
Win.
Come
The
on,
game
man.
at home?
Yeah, at home. Here we go. November 1st on the road. SMU.
Loss.
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 Oh my God. The optics there.
Yeah. Come back home November 8th against Syracuse home.
Win. Rally the troops. And we're pissed off.
Mm-hmm.
Don't like that dude.
Yeah, well, he left, so I'm going win.
The head coach left?
No.
Win. Frank Brown's still there.
And the quarterback.
Yeah.
Win.
NC State, win.
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 All right. Last 2 road games. Vatech, loss.
Loss.
Win.
Pitt, loss.
Loss. There's my 10-2 record. I lost 2 on the road. SMU, and then right at the very end to Pitt on the road. 1 at Blacksburg.
All right, we'll see if we go 10-2. That's unofficial, non-binding.
Yeah.
I've got a 7-5.
Oh, Jesus.
Hit it too.
5 losses.
I had 5 losses there.
Who
I
are
had
the 5?
I had Notre
Notre
Dame,
Dame lost.
Florida,
Uh-huh.
SMU,
Uh-huh.
and Vatech and Pitt.
Okay. That is that would make for a disappointing season.
That would be very disappointing.
This is not good.
Not good. This is really not good.
This is really not good.
Wow.
No, you can't do that.
Right.
You can't do that.
So question for you. Our old friend Lance Guidry has found a new home.
Yeah.
Where the jambalaya is natural.
Good.
He's with
Good.
Brian
I'm happy for him.
Yeah.
But they haven't announced what it is. He's just going to work with the defensive staff.
Sure,
so what is that? An analyst?
Whatever.
Quality
Who cares?
control?
Great.
Who
He and
cares?
Blake Baker can talk about how bad they hate Miami.
was. Yeah,
Mhm.
exactly.
Yeah.
In tune to creating the #1 defense in the country.
Sure.
We don't care. Yeah, go back home.
All right.
All right. East-West Shrine game. We got a couple
Yes.
dudes showing out.
Did you see who? Hold on. Did you see who was mentioned for Penn State's DC?
Yes. Wait, no, I'm sorry. Is that Ash? Oh, he's just the Ohio State gig, right?
Tell us.
Oh, maybe it was Ohio State, not Penn State.
Hmm.
Ohio State. The guy from Penn State went to. No,
Guy
guy from Ohio State went to Penn State. So the Ohio State gig.
Yeah, don't know.
Pack your bags.
Of course.
Come on.
Of course.
He's not going to get the DC job at Ohio.
I'm not saying he's going to get it, but he's mentioned.
Oh, good
The
God.
fact that he's mentioned.
Yeah, I
He did
never
great work at
disliked him.
Remarkable.
I remember vividly in the OBB Discord chats defending this guy more than not and taking a lot of flack for it. And then the 778 happened. I'm like, yeah, I can't defend the guy anymore. You know, I always thought he was good. I never thought he was terrible. And then he just had a terrible offense. Same thing with Lance Guidry. I liked him in year 1, but then by year 2, and Mario indicted him. He just said it's a system that doesn't adjust. He couldn't figure it out. And that's what happened. I think he'll be okay. But you know who's going to be okay? Tight end U is alive and well. I think that's the biggest storyline coming out is just how Elijah's just killing it. I mean, he is running.
So there's two games, right? So you had Jacoby at the East-West Shrine, killing it.
Mm-hmm.
And then you have the Senior Bowl, the Reese's Senior Bowl, right?
And you got X doing X
Arroyo,
things.
X,
Rivers.
All doing good.
Dominating.
All killing it. All their stocks have risen.
Good.
In 2 days of practice.
And when they have a pro day, I'm so thankful for Mark Richt because we never have to witness a monsoon pro day ever again. So thank you. Thank you. That was always embarrassing.
And congrats to Cam, who won the Manning Award for.
I saw that
like
half an hour ago.
Yeah. Yep.
Well deserved. Well deserved. That was a special season. I wish we had another year of that. I think Scoop, let me ask you a question. You picked 7-5. If Cam Ward was your quarterback again, what would your just real quick snapshot? What would your record be if Cam Ward was the quarterback?
With the new defense,
yes,
I'd go probably 10-2.
Okay, fair enough.
I
think he's a true difference maker. I just don't know how good Beck is going to be. What?
The number 36 overall recruit in the class of 2026, Brady Smigel, a quarterback, just decommitted from FSU.
Another one?
No, that was like a week ago.
No, they had a guy and they decommitted. Did they have two and then two?
3 days ago.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
3 days ago. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
Not breaking.
Yeah, it's a tradition like no other.
All right.
Quarterback's decommitting from the quarterback guy. Hey, we got to talk about friends.
Oh, yeah.
Friends.
Bange.
I got a roof repair going on right now at the row house.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to keep you updated.
There you go.
You can get updated yourself. And if you need a roof repair, there's a number to call. It's 981-ROOF. 561-954-305. It doesn't matter what you think. It doesn't matter what you think. It just matters what you know and who you know. And I know him, and you should know him, and Scoop knows him. Because what's his name, Scoop?
Paul.
And what do you do with Paul?
You got to give me a call.
And it's 981-ROOF, y'all. Bange.
MiamiHCS.com is the Miami Hurricanes team store, the official team store for all your Miami Hurricanes merch. Go there in Coral Gables or online. Use promo code OBB24, and maybe we'll get that updated to 25, although the Wolf's not talking to me right now, so maybe not. And you'll get 20% off. You can then also go to Manscaped and use promo code OBB and get 20% off there as well, so that'll work for you. And then, bro, we had a big thing happen with our boy BTB.
Oh, you did.
So BTB, for those of you that get the packages, he had an NFL pick. It was like 5,300.
Hold on. This was a free play.
No, it was a free play for him.
No, he put it out as a free play.
Oh, did he put it out as a free play?
This was a free play. If you followed him, you can look it up. If you followed him on Twitter or X or whatever it is, he put it out as a free play.
Okay.
For everyone to see.
And it hit.
And $100 won you $53,000.
Yes, it did. Yes, it did. Yeah.
And how much did we put on?
Nothing at all.
Oh, that would have been a perfect time to put our underdog money.
It would have been. It would have been. I may have put something on it.
Oh, there you go.
I saw your ticket.
Nice.
Yeah,
you didn't put 100, but I saw your ticket. Congratulations!
I put 25.
Yeah, there you go.
Which is a quarter of the $50,000. So
correct.
Good for you.
Good for you, man. Very nice.
Not too shabby. So anyway, we keep telling you, beatingthebookie.com. That's where you get your packages, but pay attention because that was a free play for everybody to see. At Beating the Bookie, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok. Well, no, TikTok. He got in trouble on TikTok for something, didn't he?
Yeah, because they said they don't want gambling
off TikTok or something.
I saw one of the cooler things they said, and I retweeted it too. Somebody, they were like, it pays for their IVF treatment for him and his wife. And I was like, amazing. He's using Beating the Bookie, a free play. And he's like, literally, he got emails this week. And, it seems trivial enough. But, just a little bit of money like that. Somebody that you trust. We've trusted them for years here on the Orange Bowl Boys. That's a cool story. That is a very cool story.
Very amazing. It'd be nice. Yeah, we should start. When are we getting our money so we can start putting it on that?
Well, so we got to figure that out. Like, I don't know how you open up an account for a corporation.
Oh,
because we already have our app. We can't have another
Correctamundo.
Can't have another account. So
okay, we'll figure it out.
Yeah.
So
I don't necessarily have one. So there could be the OBB one.
But do you know how to use the app and bet?
No, but I can give you all.
Great.
No.
Perfect.
What could possibly go wrong?
I need to just throw my money to one of you guys. Just like, Ro, I just need one of you to text me like Scoop should have and just been, Ro, I need 25 of your bucks. Okay. No questions asked. I would have sent it to him. So then he would have made the play.
It was such a ridiculously.
I know. I saw what the
obnoxious.
Oh, it was ridiculous. Listen. He only bet it because it was a free bet for him.
Yeah, right.
Exactly. He had a bonus $100 bet. Yeah, that's why he bet it. He never would have put actually $100 on that.
Yeah.
Because when he does bets like that and he bets real money, it's like, yeah. It's always.
I know. Brian, I told Brian's like, yeah, I saw it. I thought to myself, yeah, it's a waste of money.
Uh-huh.
Like, whoops.
Yeah. All right. So what are we doing now? We're doing 5 questions?
Yeah.
We're going to go
Chris
right to 5
Myers
questions.
doing
we're
another
have the
5
10
questions?
question show. We didn't do 5
This is the damn
questions,
15 questions. All right, here we go.
This is the official 5.
This is the official 5 questions. I'll try.
Cool. There's the music.
5 questions.
All right. If we were to bring back the Real Men of Genius campaign, I love those things. Who are we going to nominate?
Oh, what profession?
It could be anything
Listen,
random
man,
if you
I'll be
remember those.
honest.
I don't remember them.
I would have loved for that
Just follow along and you get it.
campaign, for that advertising campaign and that ad agency that was running that to tackle social media influencer.
I will tell you this. Okay. Real Men of Genius.
Social media influencer.
Standing in front of your circle light.
Pretending to be at the beach.
Yes. When reality is you haven't seen the sun in 6 months.
I will tell you this right now. Mr. Yoga Pants Inventor.
There you go.
Yeah.
Yes.
If that's not a real man of genius, because yoga pants, my goodness, my guy.
You can wear them
Very
anywhere.
genius.
You're allowed to wear them anywhere. You can wear them in the church. You can wear them to the gym. You can wear them to the doctor. You can wear them anywhere you want. You can wear them to a business meeting, apparently.
And you want to say form-fitting, they're form-fitting.
Yeah.
He's a genius.
And they have that the nice little the phone pocket.
They do.
They do that fun.
They
little
do
phone
actually.
pocket.
Yeah. The singer for that. Do you know who it was?
No.
Dave Bickler from Survivor.
Survivor, right? Yeah, I do remember.
Who also sang "Eye of the Tiger."
Yep.
Ah!
I remember.
Yeah,
that.
I gotta hear that voice now. It kind of. I get you. I get you. All
That's
right.
great.
All right. What are your
Great
answers?
ad campaign.
Oh my god! I don't know.
I said the yoga pants. Is that the winner?
Oh, yeah, that's pretty good. I'm gonna go Mr. Heavy-Handed Bartender.
There you go.
Mr. Heavy-Handed Bartender.
Because it's like they get the little
He's a
shot
genius.
out, and he hits it, and he hits it again, and then he looks at it for a second. And he's like, "All right, one more." like that.
Man, you guys are clever. I got nothing. No, I came up with the singer.
All right, that was your contribution. Let's go on
job.
to question number 2. Okay, so question number 2, we asked, Chris answered, but we didn't necessarily answer. If you didn't go into your current longstanding profession, which profession would you have entered?
Sports broadcasting.
I think I would have tried out for stand-up.
Yeah, you would have been good at that, buddy.
Oh, I don't know.
What about you, Jennifer?
Someone heckles you.
Oh, no, I think he would stand his ground. I think he would just have like quick comebacks.
Not the first time.
Yeah.
I would have crumbled like a. I would have crumbled like a like a chair.
Oh my god.
I was kind of leaning where Toast was going. I always wanted to do like either stand up or I grew up in New Jersey, so I wanted to try out for SNL.
Oh, there you go.
Because back in the 90s, it was like that's where all the dopey theater people got to act like idiots on TV. I totally wanted to do that.
I will say, I've gotten to do some pretty cool things, but I will say my brother, being an Army Ranger, that was always something that I always respected that he did, and I always kind of wish deep down I did too. Like I wish I would have went that route. You know, had the ability on this side to be part of a SWAT team as a SWAT medic, and I got to do some really cool things and work on a different side of the street per se. But I definitely enjoyed that a lot. So that definitely would have been my answer. I would have went the military route. So okay, we asked this question too. But number 3, what advice, helped you become unbothered in life?
Ooh. Man, I don't know if it was like a single piece of advice, but there came a point in the last, I don't know, 2 to 3 years, you hit a certain point age-wise where you really are like, yeah, I just don't give a fuck anymore. Yeah. When it comes to people's certain opinions or like you just don't care anymore. Like,
it was for me, it was advice and it was like an imagery. And it was when I saw this eagle, right? Nothing messes with eagles except a crow, right? And the eagle
in a bow and arrow.
Yeah, well, yeah, of course. But in terms of like another bird, like the eagle's pretty much an apex predator.
Yes.
And the crow bothers it. But the eagle figured something out. The eagle basically figured out if I fly high enough in an altitude, the crow can never follow. And once I learned that principle, when I see somebody just being a complete asshole or a dick, especially on social media, I'm just like, I just fly to a higher place.
Fly
and
high,
I'm not
young
bothered.
bro.
I'm not bothered. I'm not bothered by you anymore. And sometimes it bothers. No, it doesn't bother me because I'm like, you're just a crow. And it's just the analogy of you're just a crow. And I'm not a crow. And that's what happens. It made me so unbothered in life when that happened.
I'll give you one for my stepdad. My stepdad had 100 little dibbits of advice over the years. My favorite one, he picked it up from somebody, was don't take criticism from people you wouldn't go to for advice.
It's a great one.
And I was like, that's actually because what we do for a living, and Toast knows this, everybody's got something to say about what you do.
Everybody's got
Everybody does. And then it was like, oh, yeah, but you don't need to listen to any of those people because you're not calling them and running ideas by them.
Right.
You listen to the people that you turn to for advice. That's the people you listen to for criticism. Everybody else can kick rocks.
There you go.
Yeah, I don't know one specifically that says, okay, what to be unbothered. But I will tell you this, something I read in a book one time. It's one of those little quotes, and it has always stuck with me. And it's really kind of not necessarily about this, but it does make you a little bit more secure. And it says, never be the first to let go of a hug.
I like that.
Yeah.
That could get you in trouble with a coworker.
Well, she started it, or he started it.
I'm just saying. You hug too long, you're going to HR.
And you know what? You can hug them too.
Oh, yes.
I started it, lady. Don't let go. All right. Let's go. We're going to start a new show. Okay. Pick a state or a location and pick an agency. I'll give you an example, like Las Vegas PD. Go.
What is the show?
What do you mean?
Is the show?
Like we're starting a new show. We're like Las Vegas PD. You got to pick a location and an entity. It could be whatever entity you want. You could be an ER show based out of somewhere. It could be a dispatch show, whatever.
So a TV show.
Yeah, TV show. We're making a show, but the prerequisites are there's got to be a geographical location and there's got to be an entity attached to it.
Okay.
I'm going to go with the Carolina Beaver Hunters.
This is definitely on A&E.
Or Cinemax.
Probably can't be on cable.
You're going to need subtitles too, because they got some thick accents. That dude is amazing, though. Oh, that's a good one. That's a good one. I'm going to stay at home. I just think it's well overdue for, like, they got Chicago Fire. I think it's time for Miami Fire. Yeah. Yeah.
Does that have to be a show that's never been made?
Yeah, it's a show that's never been made. A location.
Mine's definitely never been made.
Yeah.
Huh? I have no idea. I'm pulling a scoop right now.
Oh, really? Give me a location. Tell me a location, Toast.
Helena, Montana.
There you go.
CSI Montana.
CSI
Montana.
Turns out nothing's going on. Back to you guys.
You're all just sitting in an office all day drinking hot coffee.
looking at a moose.
You're watching in the bathroom.
Moose hunters.
There you go.
Moose hunters.
Looking for the last buffalo.
There you go.
What about you, Jenners?
How about like the Tallahassee Department of Children and Families?
Oh, Jesus.
Good. That's going on Cinemax too.
Yeah. It's not safe for work moments in that.
What was...
All right. We got one more question. And since I kind of asked one, so I'm trying to come up with one on the fly. All right, here we go. You become invisible for 24 hours. Only 24 hours. What are we doing?
Yes, I think we've done this before. Yeah, I'm
really?
going to North Korea and I'm killing the Jong-un guy.
Oh, all right.
Kim, whatever. Kim Jong.
We've done this already. Give me another.
There was a lot of banks that were going to come up. A lot of banks.
I think that was your answer last time too.
It was.
Yeah. No, it was. Should we do this to him? Because one of the questions says, what do you think about the current state of Star Wars? Scoop's gonna log right off.
I think it's great. I think it's great.
Love it.
Because you don't watch it. All right. How about this one? What is the scariest movie?
Well, scariest movie? I think we've kind of done this as well. I'll tell you what. How about a movie that I've recently seen that sucks ass?
Okay, what is a recent movie? What is it? We've changed it. There you go. What is the recent movie that sucks ass? All right, let's go.
And this goes with the franchise too. So I didn't even realize it. So earlier this week, Paramount dropped a Star Trek movie called Station 31 with Michelle Yeoh, whatever, the Academy Award winner, whatever. Oh my God, it's fucking just my anus. It is just bad, bro. Like a dingleberry hanging off of Stella's ass.
Wow.
You know when the dog goes poo and there's a little hang and you got to go grab it with the bag?
No, because they're boot scooting all throughout the floor.
It won't come out. There's like a hair or whatever. Yeah, you got to grab it yourself.
Oh, my goodness.
That's that movie. It's awful. Don't do it to yourself.
Worst thing I watched. I mean, I don't want to show a ton of movies, but The Acolyte, which was one of the Star Wars. Yeah, Star Wars is bad right now. Yeah, The Acolyte was my anus.
That was the one with all the different the genders, right? All the
oh my goodness,
all the wokeness.
Oh my goodness, yeah, it was. They visited woke city in Star Wars. It was
right. There was no straight male Jedis anymore, right? I believe something like that.
Nope, definitely no alphas. Definitely no alphas. And you have a Jedi Master with two little adolescent kids. He can only force hold one. For some reason, he can't do two.
Oh Jesus.
And he lets one die for whatever reason, but she's not dead, and then she comes back, and then she's mad, and she chokes him. It's terrible. It's terrible. All right, what's a horrible movie you guys watched?
I mean, I haven't. Well, I don't. I mean, that's just dumb. But I mean, you told me it was bad, so I'm agreeing with you. I haven't seen a recent movie that I thought was really poor.
That makes it further recent.
So I have an old movie that I saw recently that sucks.
What?
Magnolia.
I never watched
Magnolias.
No, Tom Cruise, right?
Tom Cruise.
It's all these different stories.
Yes.
That come together.
Kind of sucks.
But it has no plot. Like it doesn't really go anywhere. Like every story, you think at the end it's going to come together, and there's going to be like this moment where it's like, oh, that boom, okay, the whole movie now makes sense. At the end of the movie, it rains frogs.
Oh,
and that's how the movie ends. And you're like,
what's Tom's best movie, boys?
Oh boy,
Mission Impossibles are very good.
Listen,
they all hold up.
I love Days of Thunder.
That's good.
I loved Risky Business.
A Few Good Men.
Dude, the most recent Top Gun was phenomenal.
Yes, Maverick was great.
Maverick was fantastic.
A Few Good Men might be one of those.
A Few Good Men.
I quoted phenomenal.
All the time.
Acting wise, because obviously it wasn't, it wasn't an adventure movie.
But what a cast!
Oh my god!
Oh my god, cast is ridiculous.
Like he has. I mean, is he the best? I'm not saying he's the best actor of all time. Does he have the best portfolio of all time?
I mean, yeah, you add in Forrest Gump and
he was in
Godfather, and then he's been in everything.
He was in Forrest Gump. Where was Tom Cruise?
No, he's just he's padding the resume.
Born on 4th of July, wasn't he? Born on 4th of July.
Yes, yeah,
that was him, right? Or was that
born on the 4th of July? Yeah.
I mean, it's just like he doesn't do anything bad.
No, everything's been except for Magnolia.
Tropic Thunder.
What about
Tom Cruise in Tropic Thunder when he was was it Les Goodman or whatever his name was?
Yeah.
He was the executive, cussed everybody out.
Yeah.
Oh,
with his big hands.
Yes,
with his big hands,
the hair and the knuckles. Oh,
there was a clip of him going around from the scene when he's talking to the terrorist.
He just
the guy unloads, man, and cusses him out.
Dude, it's so good.
McConaughey's like, what?
What is going on?
Good shit.
Yeah.
All right,
you gotta name it.
What are we naming it?
I didn't write down a ton, but I wrote down These Damn Gophers.
How about Chris Myers is my spirit animal?
Chris Myers is my spirit animal. Good. I also wrote down Duke from North Miami.
Winner.
Duke from North Miami. They're gonna think it's Duke Johnson.
I don't know what the hell are you talking about? Duke from North Miami.
Love it.
Thank you.
I gotta agree with that kid. I gotta agree with that kid.
Yeah,
he was really good.
Smart man. That kid's smart.
When I tweet it out tomorrow, I'll be sure to tag him and then have the show title in it because he retweeted the tweet the other day.
He did.
Yeah,
Perfect.
he liked it and he retweeted it.
He already wrote back thanking us for having him on. He can't wait to come on again.
Oh, that's awesome.
Really?
That's awesome. Look at that.
Yeah.
Chris Myers is now a friend of the show.
There you go.
OBB alumni. We got a few.
All right.
So all right, boys.
All right.
Boys, we'll do it again next week.
Do we have a guest for
Jenner's will
next
have
week?
an even bigger interview next week.
We'll figure it out.
I think Ben Palmer, stand-up
There you go.
comic.
As I said, bigger.
Yeah, now we get to talk comedy.
Which is
Let's
just
go.
going to be dude's got
we're gonna-
stories and stories.
And we're gonna make
Ben
it
Palmer?
and then we're gonna make it so crazy for him. We're gonna actually talk sports.
Okay, I like that.
Right. Isn't that his brother went to Miami or something?
Yes, his brother went to Miami.
There we go.
And then the week after that, my best friend, 7-time NBA champion Robert Ory.
Yeah,
Oh, bro,
dude, big shot, Bob.
Big shot, Bob.
Bro. And I want to do that one from at home because I'm going to make sure in the background NBA Jam it does have Robert Ory in it.
Oh my God.
Hey Bob, it's you back there. He's on fire.
No,
I think he's with the Lakers on that one. I think
Probably.
so. I think so.
Probably.
So
All
this
right.
is gonna
So
be
those
the-
are both locked in.
Jenner's is
pretty
orchestrating his
much.
first crossover episode.
I know.
This is really
It's
exciting.
like when your girlfriends meet. It's like, oh no, what have
What
I
happens
done?
if your wife? What happens if your wife doesn't know?
yeah, we'll try not to fuck
what have
it
I
up.
Hey, we're gonna meet you guys.
Yeah.
Wow, that's awkward.
This is so fun.
All
Tony
right.
Hawk maybe at some point too.
Yeah, we're close on Tony. Just trying to
I
lock
love
down a day.
All
That he's
right.
available. So
This is
Loving
so
it.
much fun.
So much better than recruiting.
Oh my
Yeah.
god! I'm talking
As
about my first
always.
Pal Peralta I ever got.
Go Kings!
Yo, Bange.